Hi there, YouTube. I'm looking at some USCF rated games. This one's between David and myself, and let's jump into it. I'm playing white. We're looking at it from David's perspective. He plays the Petroff. Again, as I've said before, he should really stick with the same opening until he gets to like at least 1800. Then he can start experimenting. So if he usually plays knight c6, you should just keep playing knight c6. But Petrov is a solid defense. I mean, no reason he couldn't switch to that. Except after it takes, I think there's really only one move. It's d6. Yeah, I think that's the only move. David plays knight c6. And really I should just take it. And, black is not in a position to gambit. I mean, he's only had one, maybe two tempo in development. Well, not even really, because it's white's move right now. So he's at one tempo. And they say a pawn is worth, in the opening, is worth about 3 tempo. Now in the endgame, 1 tempo could be worth a queen. But in the opening, generally the rule of thumb is tempo is worth 3. 3 tempo is worth a pawn. So if you're not getting at least 3 tempi for your pawn, you should make a sacrifice. But anyway, I played d4. And David should play queen e7. And probably he's going to win the pawn back now. That's why I should have just taken the knight right away. But instead, he just developed a bishop. I keep developing. And after d6, now I'm going to take the knight. So now I have an extra pawn and a much better pawn structure. And it's my move. Yeah, I played e5. Engine's recommending I play f4 instead, just get a large center. But this move is also good. I mean, the engine is saying David should take and then trade queens, but then he'll be a pawn down with the worst pawn structure, the C and D pawns. So, yeah. I guess he's getting his knight into this good outpost, but still, this can't be good for black. So black played knight d5 right away without exchanging pawns. And I came in with my knight. I really only have one suggestion after this. Again, he should trade pawns, and now at least he won't have to trade queens. But he attacks my knight, and then I counterattack. He goes back to e6. So it's questionable. He spent 2 tempi kicking this knight. Yeah, this is why I wouldn't recommend for David to play many gambit lines, because he needs to be more adept at using his extra time. Like in this case, he hits me and comes back. This is not a good use of time. Yeah, now I just start moving my pawns forward. c4, knight b6, queen c2. Now, queen c2 is a little bit of a mistake in the game. David played bishop h4, and he ended up shuffling my bishop around quite a bit. I was thinking, and it's validating to see the computer also like my idea, is to play takes, and queen to d4. So the point is you're hitting this pawn once, you're hitting this pawn 3 times, and yeah, white can't really defend all the threats. And yeah, this queen is active. There's no knight to jump to f3. The bishop can attack the queen, but that allows black to recoup his pawn. And white is still better, but for instance, engine says bishop d2, but then we're at least winning one of our pawns back. Well, winning the pawn back. I mean, white clearly has a better position. Black's pawn structure is bad. Black's more active, but we're winning a pawn back, and yeah, you have maybe, it doesn't look like much of an attack, but you have to play aggressively, and yeah, so that was my idea, and the engine also likes it. You have to do something. I mean, the queen is very bad here, and at least this is an active plan. And you're getting your pawn back. I mean, this pawn is a big nuisance. Let's see what else can black do. I don't think there's any way he can save both pawns. F4 is impossible because of the pin. And if yeah, I could chase the queen. Oops, I didn't mean to draw the line. I just meant to do it. And either way, you're getting a pawn back. So this would be my main suggestion for David. And I was kind of a little worried about it in the game. But I had a feeling he wouldn't play this way, and instead he played bishop h4. So this is not really a big threat to take this knight, so I can just ignore it, finish my development. Now there's no more, there's no more way the queen is getting out. Yeah, and black's queen is really passive. My rooks are going to come to the center. This is a good position. David plays d5. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say about this. I guess it makes some sense. If I take, then he can fix his pawns. But I just play b3. Now he changes his mind about the bishop with bishop g5. But this just gives me time to attack it. It goes back. f5 attacks his other bishop. Bishop d7. c5 attacks the knight. In the game, actually, I wasn't so sure whether I play that because the knight is so bad here. And kicking back to c1 helps it maybe get back in the game. The e2 anyway, although on e2, pawn f3 comes with tempo. So I do kick it. Knight c8. Here I can already play f6, but I decided to bring my rooks into the game first. And again with these bishop moves, although to be honest, this is a really bad position, so it's hard for me to suggest other moves. But yeah, this is already pretty much lost. I just take it off. And he finally gets his queen active, but I get f6 in. Attacks my rook. I slide back. Yeah, I can already play f takes e7, but there's really no point in calculating crazy lines when you have such a good position like this. A5 is a shot in the dark. A double. Yeah, he brings his knight desperately trying to get back in the game. And here I just take the bishop and plot my knight into f5. And yeah, there's tons of ideas. If g6, then I play the knight fork. I'm going to bring the rooks in. I mean, this is almost mating for me here. Now I attack the queen. And this move pretty much wins the queen. After h4, there's no moves. If queen to h5, then g4. So he just gives up the queen right away. I don't worry about the knight because if he takes it's going to be mate. Take time out to play b4. You know, an engine would probably never play a move like b4, but in a practical game, you know, just in case by some what's that, anti-miracle, by some disaster, my attack doesn't work out, why give him a potential of having pass pawn over here? Just lock this down. There's nothing he can do. Comes in with the knight, attack the knight, and he goes knight e5. Now I can just take that off and bring my queen into h6, and David resigns here. There's no way for him to cover this threat. So that is game over. Main lessons here are just, yeah, this opening is really bad. The time to get creative is not on move 3. The time to get creative is in the late opening, early middle game. And yeah, Petroff Russian game is a good opening, but you got to play d6. And yeah, and then second point was, where was it? In this position, not bishop h4, but just trying to get active and win back a pawn. Black would still have a not great position, but this would be much better than in the game where he just kind of shuffled and waited for white to finish him off. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.